Hey guys, it's that time again. We need to Escapes Wednesday. Thanks for joining in. Today we'll actually have a special guest, which is one of my clients who's going to come in and talk about their experience because they just recently traveled. But before we get into that, let me bring in my co-host, Ms. Tifa Sheila herself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad today we're in a happier spirits than last time because I was so tired last week. And
Girl, I was like, oh my gosh. I wanted the people going to notice that pretty
you
much
probably did because I definitely know.
talking.
Like, oof.
That's what you call live sleep talking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dedication, tired and all. But woman of my word, get on here, share some nuggets. But that's how the week spent. Today's been a busy day. I realized, like you said last time, it's the middle of the week, so it's like, you got to kind of regress since school's about to start. But
Mm-hmm.
let's get into this. Today, I have a special client who is going to come in and talk about their experience because they just got back from their trip. So let me introduce you to the one and only Mr. John Lee, aka my husband, aka my baby daddy.
You sound like Tamar.
Like Tamar.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
Yeah! It's such an honor to see Mr. Lee here on the Winning Escapes podcast.
I do what I can do when I can do it.
Absolutely. Well, this is her show, so I don't want to, take over. So I'm going to let her lead and I'll just follow.
Yes, my co-host. But yes, Mr. Lee, please tell my audience about your recent travels to Mexico and how it went, like about the quarantine. How was it from the airport to the resort, social distancing? Let the people know since you literally just got back.
Yeah, so I mean, the airport experience was very, very easy, very seamless. We didn't really know what to expect, but they really did a good job of getting people in and out through the lines, keeping social distancing, masks on at all times. The airport actually, they would originally start with what do you call it, first class, but you started from the back and they worked
Look at us
forward.
moving up in this world. Yes.
Yeah, because of everything that's going on and trying to get people on and out on on the plane faster and more smoothly and away from everyone. So that was a big experience, new change. We got in Mexico, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, they did a really good job as well. Everyone had masks on. All the employees had masks on. I don't know how they did it. It's so hot out there. They had their masks on. They were talking and they're trying to get you to not actually was walking through the airport. I remember before when we went, everyone was trying to talk to you, trying to get you to do this and that. They were more so just kind of like standing there this time. They weren't really like all over everyone. So like they were kind of like being representative, but at the same time, keeping a distance. So it was cool, man. They checked our temperature when we first got there. We had our masks on all the way up till you got there. Some people kept their masks on throughout once you got in there, but you didn't have to. They kept temperature references throughout the time.
What about the form you had to fill out? Did they collect it? I know before he traveled, him and his group of friends had to fill out a form that they had to give Mexico to say if they traveled, have they been sick, have they been around people. Every country have different rules and regulations, but for Mexico, they did have to fill out affidavit before they enter the country.
Yeah, the folks at Customs actually collected that. So they collected that, and I guess for their own reference, ask where you're going. That was pretty seamless as well. Yeah.
Was the plane packed?
The plane was not packed. It had every other seat. I think unless you were like traveling with your party, you could sit next to someone. But me and my best friend, we had our own middle seat. And then my other best friend, he was directly across from us, and he had a separate seat from another stranger. So, and everyone had to keep their masks on, throughout the flight, unless you're like eating or something like that. But
did they give you like hand sanitizer or something like that?
Yeah, as soon as you get on the plane, they give you hand sanitizers. They had hand sanitizers everywhere. Just practicing being safe and being clean and washing your hands and.
So how was it on the property?
The property, like I said, the property was cool. Once we got there and got checked in, that's typically when most people took their masks off. That's when we took our masks off. Some, you had the option to keep your mask on, of course, but all the workers, all the employees on site kept their mask on at all times. I didn't see anyone, their faces or anything while I was there. Bartenders, chefs, waitresses, hosts, entertainment folks, they all had their masks on. So, and one thing I'll note is going through the buffet at certain restaurants, like they had one buffet restaurant, as opposed to everyone, getting their own food. They would have, a personal, employee get their food for everyone. So you just tell them what you want. Hey, I want more. I want less.
And they serve you.
And they serve you, and they'll walk your plate back to your table. So the line was a little bit longer in the buffet, but I mean, they had stickers everywhere where you can sit, and plus it was open all pretty much all day and night. So it wasn't, as long as you got there at a reasonable time and not like traffic hour or whatever you want to call it.
Peak
you're
hours.
in and out. Yeah, peaking out. You're in and out. So it wasn't bad. I felt safe the entire time I was there. I mean, you still got that, that little shiver inside, but at the end of the day, everyone was, practicing social distancing and, you know what I mean, and doing their own thing. So it was cool. Really enjoyed ourselves.
We did.
Thanks to Whitney's escapes.
Yes. So another question we have for you is, I remember you mentioned to this before that in your rooms they didn't come and change your towels and stuff because they didn't want to enter the rooms once you got there, like the washcloths and stuff like that.
Yeah. So they had a sign on the door that said like, party's over. Please clean my room. Like, so you just put that on your door, and you have 24-hour room service. So if you wanted to get your bed made at 12 at night, 12 noon, you can do so. Just put that sign on your door, and they'll come in. Basically, they would just sanitize, they'll sanitize the drawers and just make the bed. But other than that, they really didn't. And change the amenities in the refrigerator. But besides that, they didn't really do much. As far as the wash towels, they didn't give you new wash towels. So I bought my own wash towel. But my roommate didn't, and he was like, "Where my wash? They took my wash towel, But yeah, they didn't give out new wash towels after you used them. Mm-hmm. So
that's just a hint for you guys. I did read stuff about that because it's going on your personal body that they're not going to change those types of things. They'll do the sheets and stuff like that, but they're not going to keep on going back and forth in certain properties where it comes to changing your towels and stuff. T-Quest, since you're the co-host, do you have any questions? So make sure we hit up things. So, and also with our viewers, if you have some questions, please feel free to ask him. It's a perfect opportunity because he literally just got back yesterday. So It's just fresh. While it's fresh in his mind, he can explain different things that he was able to do while he was in his guy's trip in Mexico.
Beautiful. Well, me, as a radio personality, I always have questions all the time. So I would like to actually bring it back to the beginning of the trip. Where was your mindset before you actually went to Mexico? Because right now the pandemic is a big deal. And even though it's a vacation, something that's probably was well needed and deserved, like what was actually going through your head? Because this is something very serious.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I'll be honest. I really wasn't too hyped about going probably until I got there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then once I got there, I was like, okay, I wasn't really next to anybody, and I washed my hands every chance I got. Mm-hmm. I had my own wipes, so I wiped my hands down. We flew Delta. Delta did a really good job of sanitizing the aircraft. Just getting off the plane. You know how everyone just rushes in the line. They say, mm-hmm. Hey, stay seated until the next person, the row in front of you, grabs their belongings and go. So excuse me. So that was a little different. And I'm glad they did it that way because everyone just been standing on top of each other. So I felt better once I got there. But I'll be honest, before I got there, I was a little skeptical, and not as hyped, if you will, as regular travel, especially since we've been quarantined the last X amount of months. So
absolutely. Yeah. So the whole trip, when it comes to going through the airport and being on the plane, you was more comfortable and secure because the way they handled you, but you wasn't really like uncomfortable, correct?
Nah, I wasn't uncomfortable. Like I said, as long as you wash your hands and you're not all up on somebody and not having nobody all up on you, I mean, you fine. I mean, leaving Mexico, there was more people leaving at the time we were leaving, so that was a little bit more. Like, man, I didn't even see this much people when I was in my resort. You know what I mean? Type of thing. But you know, same thing there. Everyone had their masks on. They had surveys that everyone had to do. They took temperatures. So if they did everything, I would say, in their power to make sure people felt safe and people were safe, you know, given the time.
Where the quarantine process like going there and coming back? Well, when they had to go there, Mexico requires you to fill out a form to state if you had like temperature, if you've been out the country or your state, if you been around people who have to COVID or anything like that. If you have coughs, any type of symptoms, you had to fill that out before you enter into Mexico. But every country has different procedures. And coming back home, did it have you fill anything out on your way back home?
Yeah. So before we even gotten through the security line, we had to. They had like sent us to. We didn't even know what was going on. Everyone was just like waiting in line, and then we had to basically scan like a barcode and like fill out a survey, which is like a Mexican type of survey thing, and it was basically like your name. You know, had to come in contact with anyone that was confirmed with COVID, or what was your temperature throughout your time? Has it spiked? Those type of things. So, you know, that survey was something I wasn't expecting to do, and it was all on our phone. All we had to do was just show. We had to show the ladies entering the security check line, and we also had to show the security once we, you know, showed our boarding passes and passports, etc. So that wasn't something that I wasn't expecting that they did in Mexico. I'm not sure what it's like in other places, but in Mexico, that's what they had in place.
And I can piggyback on that because in 2 weeks I will be traveling out the country to Turks and Caicos, and from there you have to actually have a COVID test, and I have to take a test within 5 days of travel, and then I have to submit that through their travel place, like submit it, and then they have to approve it to give me a certificate to come into their country. So like I was saying before, each country and state has different policy and procedure. That's why it's very important to reach out to Winnie's Escapes, your travel agent, so that we can help you and follow the proper guidelines, because every state is different. Even Costa Rica recently just opened up, and certain states where you live are allowed. Like Connecticut, we can go to Costa Rica. Texas, they can't go to Costa Rica. So many different things like that. So it's very important to reach out to Winnie's Escapes with a travel agent to know these different rules and regulations, because if you say, oh, they're letting Americans in, they're not letting every state in the United States to come to their country. So that's also very important to know. And know some places you have to do a COVID test, some places you have to fill out forms. So many different things when it comes down to the COVID and quarantining. Luckily he's been blessed to be able to work from home, so he's kind of been quarantining anyways because he'll be home. When he first got home, we took his temperature and stuff like that. Yesterday he's been like the whole day by himself, kind of, you know, just to see how he's feeling and doing, so that we don't all get, you know, affected if anything did happen. But luckily, you know, he's been good and his friends been well as well.
Yeah, both my friends took the test. Both came back negative. I was with them and we were with each other the entire time. So, you know,
Beautiful. Well, I mean, we talked about the traveling experience and the procedure, but what we need to get down is to the nitty gritty of the actual experience. And did it actually feel like a vacation, even though certain things are, of course, adjusted because of the situation?
That's a great question, T-Quest.
Thank you.
I would say absolutely, because everyone was in the same boat. You know, every person I talked to was like, man, I've been cooped up for the last, 5-6 months. I haven't had conversations like this with new people in forever. You know what I mean? So definitely for me, it felt like a vacation. Met some new people. Recommended them to Whitney's Escapes.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I was able to do my thing and chill on the beach. I love to do. But
step away from
yeah, it was awesome in that regard.
It
really felt like a vacation for me, despite what's going on in the world, and much needed, because we all need that getaway at times and escape. So definitely.
Absolutely. And I know that, when it comes to the pools in the ocean, it's a little different. So were there any restrictions when it came to that part of your vacation?
Yeah, so they had a very strict time restraint on the pool. Like once it was 7:00, pool shut down. Everybody had to get out. And I would watch them because our room was directly. We had a beach front. It was off the chain, perfect, right to the beach.
Beautiful.
So we could see them. They were doing. It was about a dozen workers cleaning the pool. First thing in the morning, they were cleaning the pool again. And also they had security guards all around the premises. So if people were on the beach after that, those hours, there were security guards out there just to make sure, people have been drinking all day, making sure they're not passing out on the beach and, liability there, but also to make sure people were, social distancing and, not on top of not a big crowd on top of each other. So even though there wasn't that much people out on the beach, but yeah, so it was a really good experience in that regard.
Okay, so that's good that everyone at least was able to still be swimming. So how it was when it came to the actual excursions on the trip?
The excursions. So we did a speedboat. So we had our own personal boat. It was just me and my two guys. We had our own. We were trying to get our own boats, but they were kind of head busting for them. So like, we'll just share. We'll just go on one. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. I talked to other people. They went to the mall or the downtown area or shopping area. Some other people, they did like the zip lining and ATVs. I do think when you do that type of stuff, you do have to wear your mask just because you're going, 40 minutes away from the resort. But where we were at, it was right on the resort. So all we had to do was just go to a separate section of the beach to get our boat, and then we were pretty much in the ocean the entire time. We're away from everybody, so our experience for that may have been a little different from others.
Okay, so being on a vacation during this pandemic, because it's still very active, but since it was such a success, that means you're more comfortable to plan the next one, correct?
For sure. I mean, me personally, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon this year, but definitely gave me a good perspective. I had some colleagues who went to DR recently, and they said they pretty much had the same experience. Like, yeah, it was fine. I mean, of course, you have that, that thought in your back of your mind, but you should. We're in a different time right now, and you got to be cautious of that. So, but other than that, absolutely. If I had to go again, I would. Or if I could go again soon, I would.
Beautiful.
Just because of the processes and restrictions that they all had in place.
Absolutely. But so what Kyle said, traveling is not the same anymore. It's kind of like shut down and stay in your lane that's designated to you. Yes, traveling is not the same anymore, but life is not the same anymore. This is everyone's new norm, so you just might as well just get used to it, adjust to it the best way you know how, and not take it as a joke, because it is very real. A lot of people are being affected. It does take close to home depending on who you are, so and it's still going on.
Traveling also helps you with your peace of mind. Like, this is something, even though the quarantine was going on, but it gave them opportunity to really relax, really try to not be stressed out, during the quarantine, being cooped up in your house. I know what's going on every day. It's important to have this experience and go out and just let your hair down, but also be safe. We all need that break. That's why in 2 weeks I'll be going on vacation, and I just can't wait because I mentally need a break. It's not like, working related. Of course, I'll do some things to come back and tell you guys about it, but we all need a mental break. We all need a getaway, but we all also have to be safe while we're doing it. And we just want to thank all the companies out there who are taking the extra steps and extra measures to make sure that we're safe. And also for people who go, make sure that you're healthy. Don't try to get anyone else sick. Be conscious of okay, am I feeling some type of way? Make sure you're good as well, because you don't want to harm you, get worse, or get anybody else sick. But it doesn't completely stop what's going on in for travel is still very important. Even when it comes down to food and stuff, we export and import food that's still, being dealt, stuff like that. So it's very important. It's a different type thing now. You have to go through extra measures, but you still can enjoy yourself. And when I come back from my experience, I will definitely share that with everybody as well. And I'm really happy that Mr. Lee came in and shared his experience with us, because it's important to get it from the mouth itself. Like, I didn't go on that trip. Yes, I booked that trip, and I hope it was seamlessly for you fellas. Hope you guys had a great time at your resort. But, it's great to hear the client itself speak upon their personal experience.
Absolutely. Well said. I don't have anything to add to that.
As well as wearing their Winning Escapes apparel.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So guys, just so know, I did get some footage and videos. I will have someone edit them and put it up on the website and my YouTube, so you guys can see how his guys trip went. And it looks like from the video and stuff, you guys had a really good time.
We had a ball. We was chilling. We was in our own lane, like I think one of your viewers said. We was doing us, enjoying our time. It was off the chain. Couldn't have been better. I couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, and they were also able to do excursions, which is important when you go to other countries to experience different new things there. And that's something they were able to do while they were out there, which was kind of cool.
We talked about that.
We discussed that.
Yeah, well, I'm piggybacking. We're both here, so somebody has to still tend to the family matters. So since he was our guest, I wanted to make sure he was able to express all those things and share with you guys, so you guys can have idea of how it is if you decide to travel. And I hope you guys do still decide to travel. Just know that we have to take extra precautions when you do so.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much it. Wash your hands like you usually do. Keep your distance, just like you would do. And
I think it's really funny how everything people are reminding us is things we should automatically been doing for years.
Right.
Exactly.
It's kind of sick.
It's really. I tell people, they said cleanliness is next to godliness. So telling people, if you stay clean, you'll be good. But obviously, people haven't, because everything they tell you to do now is wash your hands. So you learn that as a toddler to wash your hands.
Absolutely.
Also, don't be on top of people. Don't be coughing on people. That's called common courtesy. And for us to have to constantly be reminded these things is really sad.
Absolutely. But one thing I do want to say is, I know you guys go out regularly and you wear your mask. I hope you're not the type of people who, when you wear the mask, do you bring it down to your chin and neck area when you're eating, or do you take it off completely?
When I'm at a restaurant, because I have actually been recently, in months, I do, when no one's around me, I'll take it's like hangs off of my ear, because I wouldn't eat my food. But if a waiter or somebody come on, I'll just you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know them like that. But restaurants I have went to, one restaurant, we took our kids out. We were the only people there. So we had the whole outside. We're outside. We have the whole outside area to us. So that was a good experience. And then when we did an inside restaurant, when my daughter had a recital, it was other people there, but they had every other booth. So nobody, and then if it's a booth over here, nobody was there. So it was nobody really right in your immediate area, which was really good. I usually just have mine one piece hanging where the waiter or so is, just in case somebody wants to walk past, I can just cover myself. But the kids always sit on the inner side, and they took their mask off because, they're kids. But other than that, we haven't had any experience. I always keep my mask, so I don't just walk around. I've been doing this masking the longest, because I'm the one who go out and grocery shop and get most of this stuff for our family. My husband, he's usually home with the kids, so I understand the inconvenience of it. It's annoying as ever, but I don't risk it, because I don't want to risk myself or my family. So.
No, I totally understand. The reason why I'm asking is because, there's so many different stipulations when it comes to these masks, pros and cons, or people are saying what's real, what's fake. And one of the things that came up recently, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of it, is when you're wearing your mask, your neck and everything is exposed already out there. So then when you bring your mask down, you're actually putting the part that's already been airborne. And then you bring it back up to your nose. And it's actually a bad thing to do, but most people don't realize that once they bring it down. If you're going to take it off, just take it off completely. Because now all the germs that was probably on your neck is now on your mask. And you bring it right back up to your face. To the point you have to wear the mask automatically, because you're automatically going to be exposed to it. You know, so that was something that recently came up, and I wasn't know if you guys were aware or the people who do that, because I see in a lot of pictures and videos, people do just bring it down and thinking they're okay, but no, you're just pretty much moving the germs.
Yeah, I agree. Because your face, anything, even so, I don't shop with gloves, and people do. I'm like, if you're shopping with gloves, if you touch anything contaminant, everything you touch now is contaminated. You know what I'm saying? Because Absolutely. It stays on the glove. I guess I always sanitize or wash my hands, because most places now, they all have bathrooms and stuff like that. I keep sanitizer in the car. I keep it in my bag. I keep it, everywhere to be conscious. I try not to touch my face at all when I'm out there. So, we just have to be smart about it, do what we have to do. Don't try to go out. I usually go out maybe once a week, and that's to get groceries to re-up on some things. He doesn't go anywhere, just to the backyard.
Or Mexico.
Yeah.
Or Mexico.
Or Mexico for right now. But we want to just say thank you again, babe, for coming on here.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you coming. We appreciate you supporting Winnie's Escape to the business, travel agency, and anything else that we decide to do. Want to say bye to my people?
All right, everybody. Don't be scared to travel like I was in the beginning. I wasn't that hyped. I was excited to go with my friends, get away for the first time all year. But like I said, once I got there, man, it was a great time. And when I was out there, I didn't even think of it. I mean, I thought of it. It was in the back of my head, but it wasn't on the front of my mind. Hindering my experience. So that's a what's the word I'm looking for? That's a I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but that's I guess a props to all the travel and everyone that puts in the work to make sure everyone feels safe and secure. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Mr. Lee, talking to you. And thank you for sharing your experience with us here on the Winnie's Escape podcast, which is here every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
My girl's Quest.
Yeah, so it was an experience, even for me, because as you guys know, that is my husband, my life partner. So even though I'm a travel agent, I'm still want to make sure that people around me are still safe and doing things properly. And even when he came back, we had to make sure when the guys came, I picked up all the guys in my truck to come back home. And we appreciate doing the show. Thank you.
So Kyle said, great information. I appreciate you doing the show. What would you suggest to people that doesn't have the fortunate opportunity to have access to staying safe, going and coming, besides the sanitary maintenance of staying safe?
Who doesn't have the fortunate opportunity to access staying safe? Well, if they don't have masks, because mostly what you need to do the main thing are masks. Everywhere you go, and now you can't go anywhere without a mask. You have to have a mask. But one thing I can also say, for instance, Delta, when I did travel with them in the beginning of the month to go to another state, if you didn't have a mask, they were giving you masks. Mm-hmm. So I know that because that's one thing they said is if you don't have a mask, please come see us. We will give you a mask. So some places are willing to do those for you.
Is it the blue ones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's a blue mask that you can have. So a lot of places are willing to accommodate if you don't have it. People who went through me who travel and didn't have a mask, I personally gave them a Winnie's Escape mask because I know the importance that you need it. So that's something I did for my clients, who booked through me. I'm like, do you have a mask? One that you can wash and reuse. If they say no, I'm like, well, I'm going to mail you out a mask for your trip. So that's one thing I can suggest. And everywhere you go, they do have washing stations to keep you your hands clean, and then they also will give you. They had multiple sanitizing stations. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that would be a concern will be the mask. And if you didn't have one and you're my client, I will provide that for you.
Absolutely. And I just want to say to Kai, I appreciate you watching the show. And make sure you follow Winnie Escapes at Winnie's Escapes on Facebook and on IG. And if you have any questions whatsoever about it, she's more than happy to answer them for you. Because that's what it's all about. This is what she's an expert in. And she want to make sure everyone is safe, but still have being comfortable when it comes to traveling and pretty much escaping.
Exactly. Like I go out there first. You know, most of that when this happened, I wasn't planning on. I had trips that got canceled, but I wasn't sure when I'll be able to do it. But I wanted to make sure I was one of the first people out there so that I can reassure my clients. I'm not going to tell you guys to go somewhere and I haven't been, or at least haven't experienced how it is right now. Is it safe to say that gloves are always through your problem? Gloves, I'm not pro glove person. I do bring gloves. Like when I first went, I had gloves because I didn't know what to experience. You know, I try not to stuff stuff, but I really prefer not having gloves. I prefer just washing my hands and trying not to touch stuff because my idea, like they said, even when you put things on your chin with the mask, the example Quest gave earlier, the same things with gloves. So if you're touching so many different things and they're staying on your gloves and then you're touching your luggage and you're touching your little pillow and you're touching your this and that, you're just contaminating everything that you have touched. So I try personally, because one thing I could say, whenever you travel anywhere, you can always download, like if you do American Airlines, if you do Delta, all the airlines, you always can download their app. And when we go, and their experience, they don't talk to you, just put your phone, boop, boop, like they scan it for you. So you don't have a lot of touching going on. And one good thing about that is that, yes, you can definitely inbox me and I can definitely share some more information with you. One great thing about that, you're not touching a lot of things. So I personally liked not wearing my gloves and just washing my hands. Like every time I went to a different station or somewhere in the airport, I wash my hands or I use their sanitizer because my hands touched my luggage. And then if I forget, now I'm touching my luggage and I'm touching myself. So that's my personal preference. But to each his own. And also, they sell gloves and masks at the dollar store because I did go get some there before when I first tried to travel. So it just whatever you're comfortable with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this has been a great show.
It has been a wonderful show.
Absolutely. And like I said, I hope you guys are paying attention and listening. So
yeah, that's what we're here to inform. And also we want you guys to live your life. Because one thing, if we haven't learned anything else, life, we don't know when we're going to die. We just know that we are. And every day is a blessing and a gift. So we should experience it, but also use wisdom in everything that you do. And like my husband spoke earlier, he wasn't so sure about this trip. And I just told him, I said, you know what, John, you don't know when the next time you'll be able to go. You don't know when this opportunity will present itself. You don't know, if any of us will still be here. That's something we just don't know. Mm-hmm. I said, when you have the opportunity, live. Now, don't go out there being crazy, like don't, touching everything, acting like, a wild person, but have a good time also and be safe. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You have to, no problem. We have to do that, and that's all I want to share with my, travel people who want to travel or don't. Just know that you only have one life to live. Live it. Don't be reckless, but enjoy your life.
Absolutely.
You just messaged say you want to go back to Miami, and I said, when you're ready, let's go. And I could honestly say from the experience that I talk to other travel professionals and some people, other clients, it's pretty much been the same. People have been going above and beyond to make sure people stay safe. And I do appreciate the companies, even when they say they're at full capacity, they're not really at full capacity. They're just not letting any more people on their property so that people can properly social distance. Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful thing. They sanitize your stuff when it gets there, So go at whatever your heart desires and your mind tells you to do, but don't be scared, and I just want to, share that light for you guys.
The light has been shone. No.
We really just do, like, even like, not to change the subject, but it's in my heart, so I'm gonna speak about it. My back planter, who no longer is with us anymore, Quest, you had to message me to let me know when it happened. Chasm Balls with Kia. I loved his work. I watched all his movies. I just thought he was an incredible actor and a person. And one thing I learned in a short time span is that he lived his life to the fullest. He was a genuine person. When he got diagnosed at 39, mind you, most people regularly don't get checked up for that until they're 50. Definitely Black men. When you get 50 is when they ask you to tell you to do that type of test, colonoscopy. And he was 39. And when she found out all the impactful movies that he had did since then to leave a legacy, don't know, if he's going to be here today or tomorrow, that should tell us all something. We only have one life we can't predict what's going to happen to us. Sickness and health, we can't. All we can do is live our life, speak positive things into people, and hope that your time here inspires somebody else. And I just hope that this show that myself and Miss T Quest does inspire you guys, to do something else, enlighten you if you don't know something. That's all we're here about. We don't want anyone to feel unsafe. We don't want anybody to just jump off the bridge. We don't want anything crazy like that. We just want to let you guys know that you still can live. It just has other steps you might have to take.
Absolutely.
So once again, we want to thank you for coming to Wednesdays. And also, I want to plug my book, my children from the last week. It's called Jan and Jade. You can download that, or not download, but you can purchase it on Amazon, and it will send it to your Kindle. As long as you have a Kindle, it will if you don't have a Kindle, it will not allow you to purchase it. And the Kindle is a free app. So you can put it on your tablet, your phone, your computer. As long as you have it, it will send it to you and you can read it. It's great for children. It's great for adults. It's just a family book, and I would love your support with that. Also, please follow me on all your social media platforms thank you. All your social media platforms at Whitney's Escapes on IG and Facebook. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Whitney's Escapes LLC. And also check out my website, www.whitneysescapes.com, for any questions or promotions that we have going on. I also want to say that this November is Whitney's Retreat. From the November 6th through the 8th, the Women's Retreat here in Trumbull, Connecticut at the Marriott. Ladies, come out. It's going to be a wonderful time. We have the wonderful host, Miss T Quest. So she's lit about it. We have a DJ. We have photo booth. We have a phenomenal women who are going to be speaking life into everybody to help us all grow. We have some vendors, food, dancing. It's going to be a great time. Please come out and join us. If you need any more information, please look on my website, or you can email me at travel@whitneysescapes.com. And you can get all my information off all your social media platforms. I just want to let you know I appreciate every last one of you. I love all you guys, And if I do anything else, I hope I inspire you to live your life to the fullest. And know that you can be I'm on here. Know that I'm here for you any way that I can. If you have any questions or concerns, I am willing to help you and guide you and lead you in the right direction. So thank you.
My turn. No, but I just want to say this is a great show. I love when people can inform the people about things they need to know or probably didn't know. That's what it's all about, informing them, especially with traveling, because that's what Whitney's Escapes podcast is all about. Right? Let's go to Quest. You can follow me on all social media platforms at TQuestGLM. And download that T-Quest mobile app in your Google Play Store and your App Store. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Keep it simple. Everything's on my app, my website, my social media, my videos, my music. Like, everything is on the app. I just keep it simple for my followers. And just know that I am here for you, and I appreciate you, Whitney. And once again, congratulations on your book, Jan and Jade, which you guys can find on the Kindle app. Support. They're not expensive. Just show your love through your actions.
Thank you. That's so true. Show your love through your actions. And that will be it for today, guys. Until next time, Hashtag next week with Escapes Wednesdays. We'll see you later.
Bye.